Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, about tag on, I got it in the bag, man, I'm getting all type of cash, I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago: 5 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And when it comes to individual numbers, he's leading the pack, and all he wants to do now is finish strong and secure a league title.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw here. And he's able to find Diggs. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more down.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Clay Matthews in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because...
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Gostkowski with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On play action, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
They go play action here on first down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Here's Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now back to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a move.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Linval Joseph able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. To throw is Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 51 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throw left side complete. It's Adams. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
He gets it to Humphries. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a 43-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first.
Randall Cobb on the breakaway. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
A little juke. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Well, they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass, a run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. A run. It's Murray. Gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The quick slant caught. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team, because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kerry Hyder in there to get him for a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Clay Matthews in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
He'll get it up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the... Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up the key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And Parkey's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range, and guess what? They've got a shot.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. And when people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Fighting through pressure. Buying time to his left. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now they'll run. Murray. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Rodgers. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Back to throw, Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hayes. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. And outcome, ball was delivered and picked up the completion.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And the 49ers have scored to swing back in front. Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 touchdown passes thus far.
We've been in enough practices, and how many times have we stood on the sidelines and a unit goes out to kick a field goal and hear the special teams coach say, make sure you protect. First thing, protect. And here they give up a block.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this, tied second half. This is when execution is so key.
They go over everything in the huddle. The last thing you're going to hear everywhere, make sure you protect. That didn't get done.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Room here to run. 20, 10, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them, an absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. But I know that's nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Now here's Rigobert. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Packers, they're very